Let's return now to the steel and aluminium tariffs Donald Trump has slapped on our exports. Joining us now from the US is Sky News contributor Beau Davidson. Beau, thanks for joining us. Putting the politics of this aside, Australia and the US are meant to be key allies. Help us understand why Trump has done this.
Well, Danica, I think that Trump's tariffs are really designed to do two things, essentially. One is to talk the talk, and that's to get other countries back to the negotiating table to correct past imbalances and inequities. That's point number one. A second goal, I believe, is also a protectionist philosophy, which is to protect American goods so that Americans can actually buy American. So you have to remember that in his campaign, he promised to protect American steel. He promised to protect a lot of American workers. And so I think he's fulfilling a campaign promise. I'll admit, Danica, I don't love this fisticuffs with our allies, especially Australia. We have a special relationship. But at the same time, he's trying to reset this imbalance of past ripoffs. And I do believe that if Australia and other countries come to the negotiating table with a massive incentive, for instance, rare earth minerals like Australia has offered, if there's enough of an incentive, I do actually believe Trump will drop those tariffs and probably reset a much better balance in the trading situation.
Yeah, the problem is that our government can't even get a phone call with the administration, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But look, let's change pace now, Beau. After years of suffering from an acute and chronic case of Trump derangement syndrome, Rosie O'Donnell has decided she's had enough and has self-deported. She's left America and is now living in Ireland. Have a look at this.
When, it is safe for all citizens to have equal rights there in America, that's when we will consider coming back.
And hours later, Donald Trump then roasted Rosie once again, this time from the Oval Office during a press conference with the Irish Prime Minister.
Ireland is known for very happy, fun-loving people, great attitude, many in this room right now that I've met. Why in the world would you let Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I think she's going to lower your happiness level.
It's true. Thank you. I like that question.
Mr. Prime Minister, are you expecting?
Do you know who she is?
Yeah. I'm joking.
You better off not knowing.
Oh, isn't it great? And look, for good measure, Beau, we had to throw in this Trump classic.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Beau, somehow I don't think that Trump is sad to see the back of poor old Rosie O. What do you think?
Well, Ireland is undoubtedly lovely, but I don't think that making Ireland great again called for Rosie O'Donnell. But you know what? The loss of Rosie, Danica, is honestly America's gain. I'll take Cillian Murphy. I'll take Colin Farrell over her any day. I really will. But, she said she'll come back when it's safer. She doesn't feel safe now. Did she feel safe when BLM was rioting in the streets and looting? Did she feel safe when gangs in Chicago were killing people on the daily? Did she feel safe when Tren de Aragua and MS-13 were literally taking over cities? That's what I find so hypocritical and ironic about the situation. And let's take the same-sex marriage issue if she feels that there's unequal rights. Same-sex marriage is actually legal all throughout the United States. Rick Grinnell is the first openly gay cabinet member of the United States. How unsafe could it possibly be? So I find her message to be entirely tone deaf. I find it hypocritical and ironic. And let's just say this. She goes over to Ireland. Do we really think that she could start her career entirely over again and amass the same wealth, the same fortune, the same fame, the same audience that she did in the United States? All of her residuals, all of her royalties have come from the United States. So this message is entirely out of tune, and it's not going to play well. And I'm sorry, those crazy cat lady glasses she was wearing, that just adds insult to injury.
No, I agree. They didn't. And look, you raised such a good point. And this is the issue with the left, because they're very selective in their narrative. Now, over to the bitter banshees at The View, and Whoopi Goldberg is at it again with her warped propaganda. During an interview with trans personality Dylan Mulvaney, she offered up this assessment about men in women's sport. Have a look.
When you come in and you say, oh, these men, these are men, competing against women, you're assuming that the women are weak and just can't do anything yourself.
Beau, why are the left so complex? I mean, we're talking about a biological reality here, and yet it's people like Whoopi and Dylan who push this ideological gender narrative.
Yeah, you know, back when that Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney partnership was revealed, I decided to parody it, and there's that Bud Light Real Men of Genius ad, and I actually recreated it and actually sang it, called Real Them of Genius, to make fun of the absurd pronoun situation. I hope your viewers will go check that out on YouTube sometime. But the truth of it is there are biological realities. There's muscle mass and density differences. There are fast twitch nerve fiber differences. Let's take for consideration the fact that Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive, ran a 9.5 100-meter dash. The fastest female was 10.5. That's a full 1 second difference. We have to accept the fact that there are certain biological realities that we should not reject.
Yeah, you're spot on. Donald Trump has put an end to the gender madness, and it's the left that are really desperate to keep it alive. Beau Davidson, good to catch up. Thanks for joining me as always.
Always a pleasure, Danica. Thank you.